Let me show you my secret weapon. Respect the great Landy! I'm Landy, Felicia's chief of police. If you notice anyone suspicious or have a lead for me, don't hesitate to let me know.
안녕하세요. 이번에 에픽 세븐에서
Alright. So she's limited. What the fuck? Alright, let's talk about her a little bit. So we got Landy here. The chief of police. We call this it's kinda like, I don't know. With all the shit going on, I don't want to meme about police brutality. I feel like it's kind of like not good right now. So I was going to, but I changed my mind. Because it's not really funny right now, for obvious reasons. But so we have this Felicia's chief of police, I guess. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention, and like I forgot the live stream was tonight or this morning, wherever, and like I was browsing YouTube, and it just there's this new unit here, so it's like, oh, cool, I should check this out and do a video on it. So I went through it a little bit. I believe Leo, this is the same stats as Yuna. I'm pretty sure. Self-attack print. You know, she's got nice speed. She's got free crit here. She's got a good amount of health. She's got decent attack. These are nice base stats. I know this is Yuna's. I don't know if this is SSB. It could be. I don't remember, honestly. So, pretty nice. Let's look at her skills. So we have the skill 3, which is full burst. Acquire 3 soul. It's a 4-turn cooldown after you mullet it. Fires at all enemies and grants the caster increased speed, so it's a self-speed buff. When Fighting Spirit is full, I'm assuming it works like Focus or something similar to that. I don't think it's Focus because she starts at 50, right? So we'll have to look at that a little bit further into the video because I'm not exactly sure. It might be like a rage mechanic or something like that. Consumes all Fighting Spirit to increase damage dealt. And increases combat readiness of all allies by 15%, and it can't trigger a counter. It's pretty legit. Check this shit out again. This is it without max focus, I'm assuming. Okay, so she does have greater attack here. When I was looking at the looking at this earlier, I didn't think she. Oh yeah, so it is. It's red, so it is. It's like a rage mechanic kind of. So yeah. And they're just showing that Charles isn't going to counter here. So that did have... Okay, she was already at the max attack passive there, and she did have greater attack. So this is like... This is well into the fight when she was able to do that much damage. When my initial look at this video, I didn't see that she had that greater attack buff. I thought she didn't have that attack buff, and I thought this damage was insane. But now that I see that she has the greater attack buff, I'm assuming she's got it from her trinket. Which, not trinket. Damn, I think too much WoW, guys. Her artifact. We'll look at her artifact at the end of the video. But, yeah, it's like increased chance to give her a greater attack based on the buffs over here. So, okay. It's similar to Alexa's in a way. It's not a terrible artifact. But I thought this damage was without greater attack buff. So this is like the very top end of the spectrum here. Decent damage output, especially for Crow that has a defense buff here, which I don't understand how she's hitting Crow for almost almost 2,000 damage more than an Elena that has a defense buff. This doesn't make much sense to me. Unless this Crow has Aureus. But even still then, like, you're going to tell this Charles is squishy as fuck. If she's got elemental advantage here and she's hitting the Elena for half the amount she's hitting the Charles. Like, what kind of gear does this Charles have? It's a bit sus. What was that other unit that died? A Deanne. She hit that Deanne fucking hard. Oops. Get that back big. So yeah. Squishy ass Deanne. This is a really tanky Elena, or these 2 units are naked. That's the only thing that I can really think of here. It's just weird seeing how the damage is going off here. So, yeah. Let's move forward a little bit. The chief is on the scene. Increases caster attack by 10% after Mola. This effect can, or after attacking, this effect can only stack up to 5 times. They say only here as if like 50% extra attack that's additive with attack buff is something small. That's huge. And she has a really good base attack with a self-attack imprint. Her attack's gonna get high as fuck. It's gonna be scary on drink.
I'm about to bust.
At the start of the turn, Grant gains 10 fighting spirit for each buff granted to an enemy. Wait a minute. So, if they have 1 buff on each of them, does that mean she just gains 40 fighting spirit? So 2 buffs, she gains 80? When fighting spirit is full, reset skill cooldown. Holy shit! Dude, she's gonna eat buff teams alive. Like, if they, like, say the enemy team has 3 buffs up, like, constantly, every time she takes a turn, she's gonna nuke with that fucking Gundam, man. Like, literally every turn. It's just gonna look like this.
What is that? He's only got 30 seconds before changing back. Abort! You got 10 seconds!
Like, what the fuck? Every turn, she's just gonna fuck shit up. Well, okay then. Alright. She looks pretty good from what I'm seeing here. Then we have her skill 1, Fire. How original. Fires at the enemy and increases caster's combat readiness by 10%. Effect is doubled when the enemy is buffed. So like in RTA and in a lot of situations, stuff is always buffed, man. If it has immunity or whatever, the shit is always buffed, right? So, that's cool. Oh, and that goes up to 15%. So it's 30% CR. Alright. Okay, then... There she had. Okay, now I'm confused, man. See, now she has a defense buff. Alright, so we have the artifacts here. Wall of Order. We'll just read the max. At the start of the turn, for each buff granted to an enemy, has an 8% chance to grant the caster increased greater attack for 1 turn. After using an attack that targets all enemies, increases combat readiness of the caster by 10%. This effect is not activated by a counterattack, dual attack, or extra attack. This could be good on Yuna, actually. Like if Yuna's super fast. Yuna also gains combat readiness off of her S1, and she'll gain additional combat readiness off of this. And Yuna gives herself attack buff. And this, like, she can already give herself greater attack buff, and this can just extend the duration of a regular attack buff. And then you can use the CR boost one. That's interesting. This might actually be decent on Yuna, now that I'm looking at it. I don't think it's going to be better than Drink, but I think this is a very good alternative. This could also be good on Pavel. Yeah, it's just greater attack based on buffs. This is like Alexa's for Rangers, effectively. It's not going to have a high chance if if the enemy team doesn't have buffs. But you know, like who uses Alexa's for the crit? People use Alexa's for the greater attack. This is like the same thing. And you figure they have 1 buff over there. That's 36 here, right? Yeah. So 1 buff on every unit, that's 36. But if you look at FCC plus immunities, that's 8 buffs total right there. That's 64% chance. That's better than Alexa's. So, this is interesting. I think this artifact has mad potential. But I can't say how good it's going to be. Because if you draft into a team that doesn't buff, it's not going to be very useful. And this is for each buff granted to an enemy. Mind you, if there's no buffs, this is a 0% chance to proc. So, like if they know you're running this artifact and they just choose not to buff, then your Alexa's effectively doesn't proc. So it's interesting. So yeah, my thoughts on her as a unit, I think she's pretty good. She's limited, so, you know, I was wrong about the last, well, I wouldn't say I was wrong. I did say she was niche, and she is niche. About Cerise, right? Cerise is good at her niche. You need the gear to complement that niche, and it's lockdown and debuffs. I don't think that's necessarily like Cerise being stupid good. It's the fact that being fast with speed down and a stun that can ignore effect resistance with CR gain on your S1, that's just good for locking down your enemy. It's more so the debuffs are good, not Cerise is good, if that makes sense. If debuffs weren't as effective, then she wouldn't be as effective. It's just kind of like that. But back to the to Landy here. I think she's pretty good. She could be built more so as a bruiser. She gives herself combat readiness in her kit. She gives herself speed buff in her kit. You can effectively build her like a tanky SSB. And she's got the stats to kind of like back that up. Her base health is really high for a ranger. So you could actually build her pretty bulky from what I'm seeing here. I might actually be able to show you like my... Let me pull this up real quick. Excuse my NPC battle here. I'm pretty sure she has the same base stats as Yuna. And I can show you the stats on my Yuna right now. Yuna. Leo. I have her built fast. Drink build with high attack. She's got 1,000 defense and 12k HP. With gear like this. Okay? There's not much defensive stats in this gear. And she's pretty tanky, right? I mean, she's got 13% defense here, 10 here. And then like some flat here, and she's over 10k. That's pretty good, right? And her HP is high as shit too. It's not like I'm stacking any HP over here. You know, I got a 17 sub, no HP here, a flat here, a flat here, 6 here. You know what I'm saying? 10 here, and her HP is this high. With this gear is not optimal, right? If I dropped like 80 of this speed for just more stats up here, I think she's sitting in a pretty good spot then. That makes sense, right? I think you could go crit damage, but if you're going drink build, you don't necessarily need it. I think it would be better to really focus that getting that high attack stat and stacking up her S2 and then letting that drink hit really fucking hard. That's what it's looking like, guys. So yeah, my SSB's built to kill Wyvern right now, but stats similar to this. I don't think you're going to want to build her that fast. I mean, she could work that fast. She gives herself a speed buff on her S3. So you could probably build her fast, like a fast Yuna. I think she's very similar to Yuna in the way she can be built. You could even build her on counter set, to be honest, because she gains CR. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't think it's her S1 that goes off a counter. So I'm going to stop rambling. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I do think she's a must pull just because she's limited, but I do think she's going to have very practical use as well. She's a good unit. Do I think she's going to be super OP? Possibly with this thing. With this thing. With her artifact, might be pretty good too. I would try that artifact. It might be limited, guys, so I would try and get a copy of it if you can. You know, they're not giving us any kind of artifact pity so far, so we'll see. But yeah, as always, like if you enjoyed the video. If you're new here, drop me a sub. If you want to support the channel outside just watching my videos and subscribing, I have that join button down there. If you want to hit that, that's awesome. If not, awesome. It's fine. I'm glad with you. I'm happy either way. You watching my videos is plenty enough for me. But the option's there if you guys want to take it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.